Hey guys, Crystal Thompson here for Unity. Today I have a fun hand watercolored card. The whole thing's watercolored but the stamping, and I think you'll really enjoy this fun and easy color combo tutorial. We're going to use two pieces of cardstock. I have a 5 1/4 by 5 1/2 Nina 110 pound, and then I have a little piece of watercolor cardstock. We're also going to use the Words of Hope Gracie Ellie Designs as a brand new stamp set to my collection, and it's pretty new as well. It's beautiful orchids, and we are going to create a very beautiful card. So this card is going to have some watercolor backgrounds with black. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make that, and then I'm going to show you the full process watercolor with my Zig clean color markers on these wonderful orchids, and I really think you're gonna love the whole thing. It looks like I drew them. Your people that receive this card is gonna love it. So I have my Nina cardstock ready to go, and I have just grabbed some black ink and I have started from left to right, just adding some black stripes. It looks really rough when you look at it this way, but I wanted to show you that even the roughest thing could turn into something really pretty. And so again, starting from left to right, there's no real background or pattern that I use, just making sure that I had enough white left over in between those black stripes to fully complete that black and white background that I wanted to create. And you can even do some pattern cardstock, but we're gonna do our DIY. While that dries, as you can see, we're gonna bring in the Words of Hope orchids, and these Words of Hope orchids are being stamped using Stampin' Up! Sahara Sand, which is a really light gray brownish color. It's water based, so it's going to kind of hide once we add that watercolor markers. While that first orchid dries, I'm going to stamp the Words of Hope sentiment. And in this case, it says you can always give something even if it's only kindness. And I feel like that is such a positive, encouraging message, especially what's going on in the world today. And I'm stamping that with some black ink, and this is black hybrid ink. You use whatever you like, and I would suggest using a Misty with that ink because the watercolor cardstock does have a little bit of a pattern and it can be hard to get the full process. So here is my full process of my watercoloring, and as I mentioned, my ink is going to kind of disappear because it's brown and it's water based. So you can even go with a black, but you're gonna lose some of the lines. I wanted to lose some of the lines just because I'm gonna come back with my watercolor markers and draw around from these lines and recreate the edges of the orchids and of the leaves. I fast forwarded just a bit for you, but I wanted to show you how I'm going to do the outer lines of the leaves. And you can see I'm not strictly following the leaves exactly. It has to be close enough to where you're not losing the pattern or the shape of the leaf. And I like my leaves to be a little bit pointier, so that's what you're seeing here. And then I'm going to bring in my markers a little bit more, and I like to add some of this color onto a acrylic block because it really allows me to water down that color but not lose the edges. And be sure when you're watercoloring that your florals are completely dry compared to your leaves, so you don't have any bleeding throughout the colors and losing that beautiful image of these orchids. We're going to add more color to the centers and the edges of the card just to fully embellish, and feel free to come back when your image is completely dry with the marker and adding more of those lines that got lost in the watercolor. And I like to add a little bit of more color just in the centers where the shadow is supposed to come for the watercolor parts of the florals. Once that is completely dry, I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can see how pretty it looks. I'm going to add some foam adhesive to the back, and I'm going to edge over on the right. We're going to match edge to edge and then kind of center it and the whole thing comes together really nicely because you have this beautiful watercolor background to it. I did flicker a little bit of that pink and green from my brush before I cleaned it off. And then I'm going to embellish using some silvery gems to this, and I've done some water flickering. I'm going to use my Mono Tombow adhesive. I'm going to add a couple drops of this adhesive. I'm going to grab my jewel picker and add some silver jewels. White would work well. White Nouvelles would work well. Maybe get really brave and have something that matches that beautiful purple of the orchids. That would be really neat too. And I think the hardest part of this whole card is adding those embellishments to stick the right way up. But again, a very easy way to watercolor and make it look like you drew these, even though Gracie designs it. And this is a beautiful stamp set with some amazing sentiments that I think will really work with words of encouragement to friends and family. And guys, that does it for me today on color combos with Crystal. I hope you've enjoyed this quick color combo. We have purples and greens, black and white, and what I feel like the classiest stain we could ever use is a black and white background. It makes everything pop up, and very simple supplies to make this amazing card. Guys, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't yet. And if you haven't subscribed, please do give a subscribe. All product descriptions are going to be down below. You want step-by-step instructions on this card, go over to the Unity Stamp Company website to check out some more. We'll see you later.